As a new author, one of the most important things that I did to help with my marketing after my books were out in public was to specifically write in things that would be noticeable and identifiable by my readers. People who are fans of my novels can look at a lot of my characters, and if they see a cosplay or if they see artwork out in the wild of my characters, they're going to look at it and know that's connected to my character. And in past videos, I've talked about dresses that I've made and different outfit choices and wardrobe choices and hair accessories. And in the Golden Trilogy, one of the things that I wrote in was flowers. Now, in the story, it is a Goldilocks retelling. She was sent on a mission to destroy the bear family, people, not animals. And she falls in love with the youngest bear brother and has to play both sides of this epic war, and everybody's going to burn, right? There's a lot of betrayal in the story from most people on most sides of things, and at one point, our Goldilocks Illyria does something kind of bad, and she gets caught, and there's a fight. And so it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not like a major spoiler. They're fighting. They're in a place where they're not really speaking. Can he forgive her? Can they work this out? You know, it's one of those moments. And they're sitting there. These little girls are playing with Illyria's hair. They're braiding it because she has long, long, pretty hair. And Dove sends over some flowers, not as an apology, because he really doesn't have anything to apologize for, but at least at that point, he is sending them as a signal of, I'm still upset with you. I don't really want to talk to you or see you right now, but I'm not cutting you out completely. I just need time. And so he sends these beautiful flowers over. They're colorful wildflowers, and the little girls tuck them into her hair. And this is something I considered specifically for the cosplayers and for the artists as well, so that they would have some really cool thing that they could do that linked back to those characters and that specific scene. She does not wear these the entire book. That is not something that comes up a lot, that it is a very specific, pivotal, and important scene for moving forward in that novel. And having the long hair that is actual golden colored, not like a white blonde color. I've always been so upset about that because when I was a little girl, my hair was a little bit lighter than this because I was out in the sun more. I would go into the store and I would match my hair color to the hair dyes, and I was always golden. It was always golden, and it wasn't white blonde. It was a little bit lighter than this. And I always took great offense that they would make Goldilocks a white blonde when it was not. That is not the color of gold. So I fixed it in my story, and that gives cosplayers a very clear direction. They have the longer hair, they've got that specific coloring, and then they can put flowers in it, especially if they are cosplaying and they don't want their hair, these heavy, what I assume is going to be wigs. Most people don't have long hair like Illyria and I do. It's going to be hot, it's going to be uncomfortable. So to be able to braid that and kind of like get it off to the side or even push it over to the side and have those flowers in it, very recognizable. But it also is a little bit functional because it allows them to not suffer heat stroke under a very heavy wig. And so I wrote things into the Golden Trilogy, into the Jada duology. In fact, I recently in a video talked about how I made the dresses from the Jada duology and the hairpiece from the Jada duology. But I have a lot of my books that have very specific wardrobe and accessories and things that cosplayers and artists would be able to use. So when I get artwork of Illyria, I do get a lot of flowers. I get the really long hair. I get like all these colorful wildflowers, pretty dresses. There's a lot that goes into what they can do to represent this character. So whereas you have, you know, something like Katniss from the Hunger Games, it's just the single braid, and that's like all you see of her. You don't really see her hair down very much, and that's the iconic fashion statement for her in a lot of cosplayers' looks, even if they do like the various kinds of looks that she has. Mine have a little bit more functionality and flexibility because it's not always the same, but there are very specific things that people can do to represent those very specific scenes. And so I got to just really pour a lot of really good fashion, wardrobe, and accessories into especially my early novels, but I have pretty systematically throughout the course of my author career put this type of thought into what I'm creating. Because I love it, and because it's fun, and because I'm a fashion person, and because I really like all this pretty girly, feminine, wonderful, beautiful dresses, long hair, floral, flowery, beautiful things, lace, velvet, all of those luxury fabrics. I love that kind of stuff. And so I really get to express a lot of that inside of my novels, but it was all with the intent of future marketing. Very, very specific line of thought when it comes to what they're wearing. And making it accessible, making it achievable, but also making it kind of iconic. So, do you want to see more of the artwork people have created of Illyria or any of the characters from my books, especially the men, because there's some good stuff? Let me know in the comments below and follow along for more. And now's the time to drop your questions about my novels before we switch the content over later this summer, because we're in production right now for some epic series and I cannot wait to show you.